Coming up tonight on the news at 6, marijuana is now legal for recreational use in Montana. What you can and can't do with the new laws in place. Plus, a Helena restaurant adds a new dining experience to help keep customers safe and the doors open during the pandemic.
From Montana's news leader, this is MTN News at 6.
A very happy new year, everybody, and welcome to the news at 6. I'm Sam Hoyle. Thanks so much for joining us this evening. Lewis and Clark Public Health says it will hold its final drive-through COVID-19 vaccine clinics for individuals for Phase 1A next week. Phase 1A includes all licensed healthcare providers and their support staff at eligible healthcare facilities and long-term care facility staff and residents in the county. Individuals wanting the vaccine need to show photo ID and proof of employment at an eligible facility. The clinic will be held from 7 a.m. to 11 a.m. on Tuesday and Wednesday at the Lewis and Clark County Fairgrounds. Phase 1B of vaccinations is expected to begin later this month. That phase includes first responders, school employees, individuals involved in food production, grocery store workers, adults 75 years and older, and other high-risk groups. Exact details for those clinics have not been released. The pandemic has forced restaurants to constantly adapt over the past year, and winter weather means restaurants facing limited capacities can't always turn to outdoor dining to keep customer numbers up. MTN's Alexi Aguayo talked to one Helena restaurant that has a new way for diners to stay safe and distance with an added touch of the outdoor dining experience.
Don't mind me here, I'm just about to order dinner at this restaurant. But take a look around me. This restaurant experience has an added perk. When you look outside, I'm actually in an igloo for COVID-19 safety precautions.
It's been fantastic. People have really enjoyed it. We've gone from a intimate dinner for 2 to dinner for 6 people and everything in between, and it's been really well received.
The Wasweiler Dinner House added 3 igloos to their back patio this week to be able to serve up to 18 more customers while maintaining COVID-19 precautions. They say they are one of the first in Helena to implement dining pods. The owner says these dining pods offers more than just keeping you safe.
Even beyond COVID, just being able to have this experience in Montana in the winter is it's just really fun. It's something new and exciting.
What is also exciting is the increased income. Without the igloos, Wasweiler was working at 50% capacity in the pandemic. They admit 50% is not sustainable for their business.
Quite frankly, it just seemed like a good way to bring our income back up to what it needs to be to actually function as a restaurant, because 50% isn't sustainable long term.
Wasweiler said that if business goes well with the addition of these igloos, that they may add even more dining pods to the property. In Helena, I'm Alexi Aguayo, MTN News.
Thanks, Alexi. Wasweiler first got the idea of implementing dinner pods from restaurants in Missoula and other parts of the country. And now it's time for a check on weather with Chief Meteorologist Curtis Grevin. Now, Curtis, it seemed like just a nice fall day out there today. I know it's winter, though.
Yeah, it was. Happy New Year to you, Sam. Yeah, it's New Year, it's winter, and it doesn't really feel like that. How is everybody? Happy New Year to you all. Not that bad of a fall day. We had some wind in parts of the state, but I want to talk about the wind speeds possible this weekend. Here are my forecasted wind speeds, and look at some of these top mile per hour wind speeds. 72 miles per hour potentially Sunday in Great Falls. Conrad 74, Deep Creek on the Rocky Mountain front 86, Helena maybe 45 to 50 mile per hour winds coming up this Sunday. A very windy day, and as you might imagine, a high wind warning has been issued for a lot of north central Montana, and there is a little snow that will be falling. A winter storm watch up here really for Interstate 90 heading up over the Lookout Pass area. Good gracious, those winds. What you'll be saying at times this weekend. Low tide as far as the snow goes. I'll let you know if the tide may be coming up. And January thaw. No, not a day, not a couple of days, maybe the entire month. I'll have more in the full forecast coming up.
Thanks, Curtis. As of the first moments of 2021, it's no longer illegal to possess small amounts of marijuana for recreational use in Montana, but there still are a number of open questions before any legal sales take place. MTN's Jonathan Ambarian talked to authorities about how they'll be handling marijuana cases going forward.
In the coming months, the Montana legislature is likely to reshape the state's marijuana laws after voters approved a pair of measures to legalize recreational marijuana. But even before lawmakers have had a chance to meet, the first provisions of Initiative 190 have already taken effect. As of January 1st, I-190 says people 21 and older can possess and use up to 1 ounce of marijuana, or 8 grams of marijuana concentrates. It also allows growing up to 4 marijuana plants inside a private residence with the owner's permission. But don't expect to be able to immediately buy at a retail outlet without a medical card. Dispensaries are still limited to serving registered patients, and a section allowing recreational sales won't take effect until at least October. Lewis and Clark County Attorney Leo Gallagher says for years his office has usually only prosecuted misdemeanor marijuana possession in connection with other crimes. After I-190 passed, he says they immediately dropped pending possession cases.
There's no point in resources being expended either by the accused or by the government in pursuing something that doesn't make any difference.
The initiative also allows people already convicted of marijuana offenses that have since been made legal to ask that they be removed from their record. Gallagher said he doesn't plan to challenge those expungements unless the marijuana possession was linked to a more serious crime.
I don't think that it's worthwhile to try to contest something that the people have passed.
I-190 includes some restrictions. It says smoking marijuana in a public place isn't allowed and could carry a civil fine. Sheriff Leo Dutton said he believes his deputies will be able to enforce that provision if they observe someone smoking.
I think if you see them and you are trained to know what that is, we will probably write that.
He said there's more uncertainty around a section saying marijuana plants in a home have to be locked away and out of public view.
The plant allotment at home is where we are unclear. Those things still need to be worked out.
Authorities will also still address driving under the influence of marijuana. Montana law sets out a legal limit for THC in the blood, and Gallagher believes he can prosecute successfully if a driver is over that limit. In Helena, Jonathan Amberian, MTN News.
Thanks, Jonathan. State lawmakers have around 40 active bill drafts to revise marijuana laws in the upcoming session. Several deal with what is likely to be one of the biggest issues they decide: how tax revenue from legal sales should be spent. Distilleries that help produce hand sanitizer during the start of the pandemic won't have to pay thousands of dollars in fees after all. Hundreds of distilleries needed to register as drug makers to produce hand sanitizer, which requires an annual fee of about $15,000. The Department of Health and Human Services says the Food and Drug Administration did not receive approval to bill distilleries. The department told distilleries they do not have to pay a fee, and a spokesperson for the agency says these businesses should be applauded for their actions, not taxed. The 2021 Montana legislature kicks off in Helena on Monday. But before the action begins, you can get an inside look at how 2 of the top leaders view the session's agenda on Sunday's edition of Face the State on this MTN station. MTN chief political reporter Mike Dennison will be visiting with Republican State Senate President Mark Blaisdell of Kalispell and Democratic House Minority Leader Kim Abbott of Helena. Blaisdell and Abbott offer very different views on health safety protocols at the Capitol during the session. And they also dive into the issues of affordable housing, illegal drug use, private and public education funding, the state budget, and more. But first and foremost, they talk about how their respective parties may approach the issue of the COVID-19 pandemic and its impact on the Montana economy.
I think the top-down approach that we've had on the mandates has put businesses in a very, very difficult position between their customers on how they have to enforce these mandates and also navigate the health regulations that have been put down on them, and risk losing their business or their license or being closed as well. So it's been a very difficult challenge, especially for these small businesses.
We think that setting clear expectations, making sure that people understand where resources are, making sure that testing is available, that we can get our hands around this virus and keep it in check. The best way to keep businesses open is to help people comply with basic measures.
Face the State will air at 8 a.m. Sunday right here on KTVH. And still ahead on the news at 6, how Helena College learned to better operate following its first semester amidst the coronavirus pandemic.
Storm Tracker weather starts now with Chief Meteorologist Curtis Grevenance.
The COVID-19 pandemic has required education institutions across the world to reevaluate how to provide quality education while reducing the potential spread of disease in their facilities. MTN's John Riley spoke with Helena College, who hope lessons learned with COVID will benefit future students.
Of the more than 1,400 students attending Helena College this fall, there were only 5 confirmed COVID cases associated with the college. Dean Sandra Ballman credits the low numbers with the college helping create new tools and fostering a culture of not coming to class when sick.
Last semester was in every way a success. We were very pleased with the campus coming together to help create our safety plan and execute our safety plan. We had great compliance.
To help encourage students not come to class while sick, digital attendance options were available where students could still interact with the instructors and the rest of the class. A lot of faculty also stepped out of their own comfort zones to stream and record their lessons to provide to students. Bauman says she was honestly nervous implementing so many protocols across every aspect of the college, but academic success of the students didn't drop and remained in line with previous years.
If they were sick or just not feeling well, we knew that creating a culture where people don't feel obligated to come to campus was the most important thing we could do.
No plan is perfect though, and Helena College is taking a close look at what can be improved on, like student well-being in general.
The other thing I think that is social engagement for students, opportunities for coming together when you can't physically come together, just as a way to enjoy the college and enjoy each other. That's something we'll focus on as well.
The spring semester will look pretty similar to the last for Helena College students, with masks and other COVID guidelines remaining in effect. There will be no spring break to help limit travel for students and faculty. Helena College hasn't yet made a decision on how they'll hold graduation this year due to the ever-evolving COVID-19 situation. However, they promise they will celebrate graduation for those students. Reporting in Helena, John Riley, MTN News.
Thanks, John. And now for a look at the weather, Chief Meteorologist Curtis Grevenitz.
Another look, because I know we just showed you this picture over there. I was sitting, working really hard, and I almost jumped out of my chair onto...
Working.
Yeah, I was working really hard. But hey, happy retirement to Debbie Mahana here. Debbie celebrating 25 years of working at the VA. Hey, she doesn't look old enough to retire. Well, more on the forecast coming up next.
Storm Tracker weather starts now with Chief Meteorologist Curtis Grevenitz.
Yeah, Sam, so I get about infinity miles to the gallon on this hog here. Happy New Year, everybody. Riding a little cart here because of a torn Achilles if you've been not watching the news here for the last couple of days. But hey, Happy New Year, happy 2020-21 to everybody. 41 degrees in Great Falls. Boy, it is going to be a wicked windy weekend here for most of the state. A little cooler and calmer in Helena currently. Wind of only 3 miles per hour. But here you can see the numbers. Chilly down in Bozeman, already 22 degrees, but 40 in Cut Bank, 42 in Havre on New Year's Day at 6 o'clock in the evening. And there you can see the wind, but everybody will be looking at the wind increasing heading through tonight and especially during the day tomorrow, a windy day. All right, but the wind gets worse as we go through Saturday night into Sunday, where you see those shades of pinks and purples. We're talking 60, 70, even up to 80 mile per hour winds. So this is going to be a real nasty day here on Sunday. Not a lot of snow, but a heck of a lot of wind here for a lot of the states. Real tough driving if you have a high-profile vehicle, if you're pulling a trailer. Maybe try not to do that, especially on the north-south roads coming up here on Sunday. Radar, maybe a couple of snow showers crossing the Bitterroots and the Sapphires, making a couple flakes into the hills around Helena here tonight. Bigger storm moving in with some rain into Washington and Oregon, and that's a pretty big snow and ice maker moving through the Great Lakes into the northeast. So here's what will happen tonight in Montana. A couple of snow showers, as I mentioned, maybe even warm enough out across north central Montana for a couple of raindrops, liquid coming down here at the start of 2021. And then heading through Saturday, some clouds, a couple of sprinkles, maybe northeast Montana through the morning hours, but The clouds will be really dissipating through the morning into the afternoon, looking at a real sunny day, but it will be a windy day. Heading into Sunday, though, another front coming through, and yes, snow in the western mountains here throughout the day, night on Saturday into Sunday, and then the front going through the state here on Sunday, that will create wind, maybe a couple of mixed rain and snow showers, but again, it's really all about the wind coming through this weekend. Snowfall amounts? Yeah, if you're traveling over Lost Trail, Lookout Pass, over around the Lolo area, or even up Marias Pass, there will be snow and slippery roads, but that's about it really in the western mountain passes here. Tonight, temperatures staying above where maybe the average high is for the date, with a lot of locations into the 20s and the 30s. And again, maybe a few flakes of snow around Helena here tonight. And here's the forecast for tomorrow. A windy day, but again, Sunday's even windier. Fairly mild, 30s, 40s, even a couple of 50s out there. 30s in the higher terrain, but a warm, windy day for the second day in January. Sunday, an extremely windy day. Yes, 40s to about 50 degrees, but really hard to enjoy that when you have 40, 50, 60, 70 mile per hour winds. Into Monday, a little break, still a little breezy off of the Rocky Mountain front, but nothing like Sunday. We'll have partly cloudy skies. And then Tuesday, if you're hoping for a little snow, we may get a little snow coming up here on Tuesday. Here's the 7-day forecast for Helena. So a couple of snow showers around tonight into early tomorrow morning. A couple of mixed rain and snow showers around on Sunday, but really nothing piling up. Tuesday and then Thursday, we could have a little in the way of some snow shower activity, or at least a period of some light snow. And for Great Falls, look at Sunday. I've never written that on a forecast before. West winds 30 to 70 miles per hour for most of the day. Yeah, a real nasty day as far as the wind goes. Tuesday and Thursday, a chance for a couple of flakes.
Sounds like those days to be inside. Coming up, a look at what will look different when the next president is inaugurated later this month.
From Montana's news leader, you're watching MTN News at 6.
Welcome back, everyone. A new year will also bring a new president. In just 20 days, the inauguration of President-elect Joe Biden will take place in Washington. But as our Joe St. George explains, because of the pandemic, it will be very different from any inauguration we've seen before.
The platform outside the United States Capitol is nearly finished. Press risers have been put up. Fresh paint was applied earlier this week.
I, Joseph Robinette Biden Jr., do solemnly swear.
But because of this pandemic, President-elect Biden's inauguration will be very different from his first one as vice president back in 2009. Inauguration change number one, President-elect Biden telling supporters not to come. While some will no doubt still flock to the National Mall, it will likely be very sparse. No crowd records will be broken this time around. Inauguration change number two, members of Congress have limited tickets. Usually the area surrounding the Capitol is filled by those with official invites. In previous years, members of Congress distributed hundreds of thousands of formal invitations. This year, each member gets to invite a +1. Inauguration change number three, no lunch inside the Capitol. In a normal year after the swearing in, the new president dines with members of Congress. That event is now canceled. Inauguration change number four, inaugural parade and inaugural balls being reconfigured.
I do think that they'll continue to try to engage with people virtually.
Rachel Gloss is a Washington, D.C. based event planner. She says in a normal year, she'd coordinate a half-dozen inaugural galas and balls. This year, for obvious reasons, her usual clients have canceled the cocktails.
Right now, we don't have anything on deck.
And finally, inauguration change number five is the one most up in the air. What role will President Trump have? The morning he took office 4 years ago, the Obamas greeted President Trump at the White House. Obama attended his swearing in. Biden Inaugural Committee co-chair, Congresswoman Lisa Blunt Rochester.
At this point, I'm not sure what President Trump will want to do on that day. It would be unfortunate if he chooses not to participate, but I will tell you that the committee itself are working to ensure that people across the country can participate.
Of course, one thing is for sure, when the sun rises over the U.S. Capitol on January 20th, 2021, it will be an inauguration unlike any other. In Washington, I'm Joe St. George.
And we'll be right back.
From Montana's news leader, you're watching MTN News at 6.
Back Welcome back, everyone. Just wanted to take another moment to wish you all a very happy new year. You can catch us back here tonight at 10 o'clock as well on KTVH.com. We'll see you then.